Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aida Bashira Betty Kabesan. My student ID is 202111523 I am from class 5B. My supervisor is Dr. Khairulriza binti Ahmad Saleh. Today, I would like to present about my system, which is learning about body part using augmented reality for primary school students. Background of the study. Augmented reality is a technology that combines virtual with the actual environment and allow them to interact with each other. Students may use AR in anatomy to study the actual body and learn how it functions. Students may view the anatomy of various human body parts in action, rotate them, and zoom in and out by using this application. Due to limitation in visualizing the body structure from a 2D to a 3D representation, students often have difficulty studying human body anatomy. By having an augmented reality-based human anatomy learning application, students should be able to understand the anatomy of the human body using a 3D graphic visualization. Next is problem statement. The first one is student will lose concentration in learning if teachers continue to use traditional teaching method and do not use teaching aids in the implementation of teaching and learning. Second is students generally struggle to understand human body anatomy because of difficulties in visualizing body anatomy in a 2D image. The third one is students will be less interested in learning and exploring different type of body part if there is not an interactive quiz. Next is objective. The first one is to identify the name of body part, its function, and how to pronounce it correctly in Malay and English. Second is to develop a mobile application that is recognize different types of body part using augmented reality. The last one is to test the functionalities of the mobile application. Next is project scope. The target user of this application are primary school children at age of 7 to 12 years old. This application will also be developed to be used by teachers. The target mobile platform for this application is Android, and the language that will be used are English and Malay. Significant. The mobile application will help children and recognize different body parts with their name and correct pronunciation. It can help with children memory retention with the addition of a fun quiz that aim to assist children in remembering the name of body part. This application will provide better understanding with the use of augmented reality. Summary of domain. The first one is eye. The human eye is a sensory organ that reacts to light and vision that allowed by the cell in the eye surrounding tissue. When we are fixed our attention on anything, the retina, pupils, and other cells in our eyes all work together to form an image in our head. The human eye is capable of distinguishing between around 10 million different hues while looking at a single photograph. The second one is nose. A nose has a 2 holes on it. Nostril are the name of this hole. There are 3 distinct sections contained within each cavity: the nasal, vestibule, the respiratory region, and the olfactory region. The third one is mouth. The lip is separated into 3 anatomic zones. The outer skin above and below the vermilion border is identical to skin at other places and include adrenal structure such as hair follicle, eccrine, sweat glands, and sebaceous gland. Next is ear. The outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear are the 3 components that make up the ear as a whole. The structure of the outer ear and the middle ear are simple and easy to recall. However, the anatomical structure of the inner ear is intricate, located deep within, and has a relatively tiny volume. The part of the inner ear, also known as the coccyx, has the appearance of a snail shell can be found on the frontal aspect of the inner ear. The vestibule is located in the middle of the inner ear, and it is linked to both of the coccyx and the semicollar canal. The last one is hand. Hands are the most important organ for grasping and manipulating objects. The hand has the sensory, fine motor, and musculoskeletal apparatus essential to conduct activities. Research area for augmented reality. The term augmented reality or AR refers to a type of technology that interactively combines elements of an actual world with those of a virtual one. AR can be applied to many different fields to provide innovative methods to the solution of problems that occur in the real world. The implementation of augmented reality in the classroom has the potential to turn an interesting lesson into an engaging and enjoyable experience. Students benefit from AR's ability to help them recall what they have just recently learned. Students with visual aid like picture, movie, and animation that are exhibit an ordinary display device will motivate children to stay focused and will make a learning session easier to comprehend. For technique, we have marker-based, markerless, and location-based. For marker-based is a augmented reality. Is a type of augmented reality that uses real-time recognition of photo, eye, or other real-world items to offer additional digital data to the user. A trigger photo or QR code is required to activate marker-based AR. It is also known as image recognition AR. The user can scan the marking with their phone camera to access the digital experience. For markerless augmented reality combine digital data with real-time, real-world input registered to a physical location. A marker such as a QR code is not required for markerless AR. Without any prior knowledge of the surroundings such as wall or junction point, markerless AR recognizes object or distinguishing feature of a scene. The visual effect that combine computer image and real-world picture is commonly linked with the technology. Location-based augmented reality without marking, position-based, and geo-based are all terms used to describe location-based AR. To define the location and position of the phone with great precision, it relies primarily on GPS, accelerometer, digital compass, and other approaches. Summary of similar application. The first one is anatomer. This application was developed using 3D model to visualize anatomy. The camera will look for marker. When a marker is recognized, it displays 3D model of the human body based on the menu selection. The detail of information will be displayed when touch the 3D model of your organ. Rotation and model magnification can also be used to manipulate the 3D model display. The second one is heart failure. The augmented reality camera feed display an animated heart model that float on the table in front of the participant. This feed form the basis of the app's functionality. Using Apple AR Kit 2, the heart model is able to remain in a fixed location above the table even when the participant moves their foot. For AR chemistry learning, the use of AR makes it possible to interact with virtual objects, which in this case take the form of molecules that each have their own unique color and volume. They are able to observe with the assistance of the marker, which are symbolic of a piece of paper containing instructional material that the camera is able to follow. Justification. The project as purpose is to develop a marker-based application for primary school students may use to learn about the type of body part. This technique was chosen since it is particularly good for students because it is a more fascinating learning method than learning from a book. Augmented reality will be used to make learning about body part easier. The reason for this is because by using this program, students will gain a deeper understanding of the human body and the style of education will become more engaging. This application will make use of marker-based technology, which translates to the scanning of flashcard via the usage of a QR code. The user can scan the flashcard and the application will immediately bring up a 3D representation of human anatomy with along the relevant information. After that, students can participate in the quiz, which will assist them in determining what they already know and what they still need to learn. This project will be built using the Android mobile platform. Methodology diagram, which is MADLC. The first one is identification, design, development, prototyping, testing, and the last one is deployment. Next is system architecture. This application user are primary school student. The application user interface UI and the user experience UX will be both taken care of using the Flutter platform. The database known as MySQL will be used to store data. The user need to scan the marker of the flashcard with their Android device. When the user scan the flashcard using their phone, Vifora will recognize and keep track of the image. The 3D model and other information will be displayed by the Vifora engine as soon as the image reveals similarities with an image stored in the Vifora database. The augmented reality apps and entire project will be created using Unity. Visual Studio will be used to generate C++ code for 3D models. Next is summary of methodology. The first goal is completed during the phase of identification, which is when the augmented reality system that is intended to be produced need to be researched and comprehended through the finding of previous article and journal. The second objective was also completed during the design, development, and prototype phase. The design phase is where the user interface is created, and the prototype phase is where the mobile apps is developed and truly tested for its functioning. Lastly, the third objective will be accomplished in the testing phase, during which supervisor will evaluate the mobile application in order to receive approval. This application will be tested from the real user to test the system functionality and efficiency. The last one is conclusion. This system will be develop a mobile application that will help children to learn and recognize different body part with their name and correct pronunciation. The user can scan the flashcard and the application will immediately bring up the 3D representation of human anatomy along with the relevant information. Simple questions are provided in the mobile application to test children's memory based on what they have learned. This application can assist students in visualizing their learning material and motivate children to study about the human body. Using augmented reality technology as a complementary tool, it will help primary school children in learning the anatomy of the human body with an interactive learning and immersive environment. That's all from me. Thank you.